Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today we are diving into the story of the Philippine 10 Sentimo coin issued in 2013. At first glance, this small denomination might seem insignificant. Just another coin passed quickly from one hand to another in the daily bustle of markets and jeepney fairs. But as we peel back the layers of its history, design, and symbolism, we uncover that the 2013 10 Sentimo is more than just loose change. It is a miniature time capsule carrying the identity, resilience, and culture of the Philippines. The 201310 Sentimo coin belongs to the new generation currency coin series, a set of coins released by the Banco Central ng Pilipinas (BSP) to modernize Philippine currency. This series introduced coins with a unified and simplified design, making them easier to distinguish, while also aligning them with the new generation of paper bills. The introduction of the 10 Sentimo in 2013 was part of this national project to standardize, secure, and beautify Philippine money. On its obverse, the 10 Sentimo proudly displays the stylized Philippine coat of arms, a timeless national emblem representing freedom, democracy, and sovereignty. Even though it is just a minor denomination, the presence of the coat of arms reminds citizens that every peso, every centavo, represents a collective contribution to the economy and national pride. The reverse of the coin features the iconic wailing, a rare and beautiful orchid known as the Queen of Philippine Flowers. This design choice by the BSP was not random. It was meant to celebrate the country's rich biodiversity. The Philippines is a global hotspot for unique flora and fauna, and the 10 Sentimo serves as a daily reminder of the nation's natural treasures. Measuring 15.5 millimeters in diameter and made of nickel-plated steel, the 2013 10 Sentimo is among the smallest coins in circulation. Its lightweight and silvery shine distinguish it from older bronze-colored centavos, reflecting a modernized look suitable for the new generation. The material choice was not just aesthetic but also practical, as nickel-plated steel is durable and cost-efficient for mass production. One fascinating aspect of the 2013 10 Sentimo is how it represents the gradual decline in the purchasing power of smaller denominations. Back in earlier decades, the 10 Sentimo had much greater value and could buy small items. By 2013, however, its economic utility was mostly symbolic. Yet the BSP decided to keep it in circulation, recognizing its role in maintaining proper accounting and pricing, ensuring fairness in transactions down to the last cent. For coin collectors, the 2013 10 Sentimo holds a special place because it is one of the first modern designs in the new generation series. Unlike older centavo coins that carried faces of historical heroes like Francisco Baltasar or Melchora Aquino, the 2013 series shifted to highlighting nature, plants, and symbols of identity. This marked a turning point in Philippine numismatic history, sparking debates among collectors about whether removing portraits diminished the coin's cultural weight or offered a fresh, progressive identity. The issuance year of 2013 also coincided with an era of rapid technological changes in the Philippines. E-commerce, digital banking, and mobile wallets were beginning to rise. And yet here was a small coin still clinking in the pockets of jeepney drivers, sari-sari store vendors, and schoolchildren. In a way, the 10 Sentimo of 2013 reflects a crossroads between tradition and modernity. Between physical cash and the beginning of cashless systems, collectors often note that while the 10 Sentimo is not rare, pristine uncirculated pieces from 2013 are worth keeping. Over time, coins like these can become scarce, as they are gradually phased out of circulation or simply lost in drawers and jars. Numismatists appreciate that such minor denominations tell stories, often overlooked stories that reveal how ordinary Filipinos engaged with their currency daily. The wailing flower featured on this coin carries its own deep history. Indigenous tribes in Mindanao long revered the flower for its beauty and spiritual significance. By placing it on the 10 Sentimo, the BSP was not only celebrating biodiversity but also honoring indigenous heritage. Every time someone looks at the coin closely, they hold in their hand a bridge between native culture and modern statehood. Historically, the 10 Sentimo has undergone multiple transformations, from copper-nickel compositions to aluminum, then to brass, and now to nickel-plated steel. It mirrors the Philippines' economic journey and changing global metal supply. Each redesign reflects practical adjustments to inflation, metal costs, and minting technology, making the 2013 version part of a long evolutionary chain. While the coin's value may seem negligible, its symbolism runs deep. Imagine children in 2013 receiving a few centavos for school snacks, jeepney drivers handing back exact change, or vendors in the palanque carefully counting out every last coin. These everyday exchanges demonstrate that even the smallest denominations support the rhythm of the economy. In circulation, the 201310 Sentimo also became a teaching tool for young Filipinos. Learning to recognize and count coins starts with centavos. The small coin therefore carried an educational role, helping children understand numbers, value, and discipline in handling money. From a global perspective, many countries have phased out their smallest denominations, arguing they are no longer practical. Yet the Philippines kept the 10 centimo alive, reflecting a cultural tendency to value exactness and fairness in trade. This also shows a uniquely Filipino respect for every coin, no matter how small. Interestingly, the coin's release also tied into national pride. At the time, the Philippines was experiencing economic growth and renewing Philippine centavo coins. By 1994, inflation had reduced the purchasing power of centavo coins, but they were still widely used for smaller transactions such as bus fares, jeepney rides, and market goods. On the obverse front of the 1990 for 25 centimo coin, one finds the portrait of Juan Luna y Novicio 1857-1899, one of the greatest Filipino painters and a hero of the Philippine propaganda movement. Luna is best known for his world-famous painting Spoliarium, which won the gold medal at the Exposición Nacional de Bellas Artes in Madrid in 1884. His works and contributions to Philippine nationalism earned him a permanent place in the country's numismatic history. His presence on the coin symbolized not only artistry but also patriotism and the pursuit of national identity during the Spanish colonial period. The reverse back of the coin features the Philippine butterfly graphium, Ideoids, a beautiful and rare species native to the Philippines. Including this butterfly on the coin was part of BSP's effort to raise awareness of Philippine wildlife and natural treasures. It is a symbol of biodiversity and also a gentle reminder of the need to protect the nation's environment. The butterfly imagery reflected the transition to a more modern and nature-centered coin design, which was a departure from the purely political and heroic images of previous series. The coin itself was struck in aluminum bronze, giving it a golden appearance. It measured 20 millimeters in diameter and weighed around 3.6 grams. Its edge was reeded, which made it easier to distinguish by touch from other smaller centavo coins. 1994. The Philippine economy was undergoing gradual modernization under the administration of President Fidel V. Ramos. While coins like the 25 centimo were still minted in large quantities, their use was beginning to decline in urban areas due to inflation. However, in many rural provinces, these coins remained important for everyday purchases, such as buying vegetables, candies, and small items in local sari-sari stores. 1994 also marked the final year of the Flora and Fauna series before it was replaced by the improved Flora and Fauna series, 1995 to 2000, for which featured a more polished design and modified details. Because of this, the 199 for 5 centimo coin is historically important. It represents the end of an era in Philippine coinage before the country transitioned into a new style of numismatics. Collectors today view the 1994 25 centimo coin as a transitional piece. While it is not particularly rare in circulated condition, well-preserved or uncirculated coins can fetch interest among numismatists, especially those collecting complete sets of the Flora and Fauna series. Coins in mint or proof-like condition are harder to find since most were used heavily in circulation during the 1990s. The 25 centimo coin also serves as a reminder of the Philippines. 1990 for 25 centimo coin begins long before its actual minting. To fully appreciate it, we must look back at how Philippine coinage evolved after independence. In 1946, when the Philippines gained full sovereignty after World War II, the country retained the peso system introduced during the American colonial period. Early post-war coins carried simple designs, highlighting the republic's sovereignty. But by the 1970s and 1980s, Philippine currency began to reflect stronger themes of nationalism, culture, and identity. The Flora and Fauna series, introduced in 1983, was a bold departure from the previous Engi Bagong Lipunan coins of President Ferdinand Marcos, which were heavily political. Instead of focusing solely on national leaders and symbols of authority, the new series balanced heroes of the nation with plants and animals. Unique to the Philippines, This decision reflected not just artistry, but also a growing awareness of the country's natural heritage, at a time when environmental preservation was becoming a global concern. Within this series, the 25 Sentimo coin was carefully chosen to feature Juan Luna, a man whose works gave Filipinos pride in their cultural identity. Luna was not only a painter but also a patriot, whose life intersected with the Philippine struggle for independence. His art, particularly Spoliarium, was more than an artistic triumph, it became a political statement, inspiring Filipinos to unite against colonial oppression. By placing Luna on the 25 Sentimo, the coin connected everyday transactions with the memory of a man who inspired national consciousness. The reverse side, bearing the Philippine butterfly Graphiomidoides, may seem simple at first glance, but it was symbolic. Butterflies in many cultures represent transformation and renewal. For the Philippines in the 1980s and 1990s, this was especially relevant. The country was transitioning politically after the end of the Marcos dictatorship in 1986, moving toward democracy under President Corazon Aquino and later President Fidel Ramos. The butterfly was thus not only a nod to biodiversity, but also a subtle reflection of the country's transformation. 1994 was historically significant in Philippine coinage because it marked the final minting year of the original Flora and Fauna series. By then, inflation was eroding the practical value of centavo coins, but they still played a role in pricing goods in wet markets, jeepney fares, and small business transactions. For ordinary Filipinos, the 25 Sentimo was often used in combination with other coins to make exact change an essential practice in a country where every centavo mattered to working families. Economically, the Philippines, in the early 1990s, was stabilizing under President